The New England Patriots just got some of the best offseason news. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron. On the daily Patriots content, don't miss out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button because you're great people, and as well, comment below. Today, what we're going to jump into, as I said, some of the best news of the offseason for the Patriots, bar none. It's going to be great. As well, we dive into the Mike Vrabel press conference, and we dissect some of the stuff he has said. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump into it. Let's dive into it. Christian Barmore, back after blood clots issues. This is huge. Now, it is not 100% that he is officially back and better than ever. But what is great and what Mike Vrabel has talked about is he is most likely expected to go to voluntary offseason program, which again, let's remember the first word in that phrase is voluntary. He does not have to go, and based on the NFL Players Association bargaining agreement, all those different things. He does not have to go. But according to head coach Mike Vrabel, he is expected to go and participate. So that is a big step forward as well. It's really cool to see that Mike Vrabel has said, listen, he's come to the facility, essentially saying there's a pep in his step. He's ready. He feels like he's ready to go. And so that is a huge sign for the Patriots. The reason being, it would take this defensive line and make it truly the next level. In my opinion, it is making that interior defensive line probably one of the best, top 5 easily in the NFL, and potentially loading that defensive line with Landry, Keon White, if he can break out this year, his third year, as well as Barmore and Milton Williams in the middle. That defensive line could be absolutely dirty, next level, and hard to handle for a lot of teams. And again, if you can work the trenches, that makes everyone else look better. It makes everyone else look better. If you can get those front four really moving, causing pressure, causing havoc, it's going to be a show. It's going to be beautiful. Now, again, they're still evaluating him, making sure, like, hey, his health is the number one priority in this whole thing, which is true, making sure he is safe. But moving forward, as he progresses, this is looking good. Now, we know last year he missed the first 10 games, came back, pretty exciting, only played for 4 games. It was kind of hit or miss. And so I feel like with a solid offseason off, coming back in, and hopefully the doctor's really evaluating him and making sure, hey, he is okay to go, then this can be huge news, will be huge news for the Patriots. Now, we know that they signed him to that 4-year contract, that extension, worth a ton of money, almost $42 million guaranteed, $92 million total. So again, they want him on the field. They need him contributing, and they know that he can be a huge asset to this team. And so the big question is he going to be able to make that next step when he comes back from injury, or come back to where he left off? And I think that is a huge possibility. So again, huge news for the Patriots. Again, we know last year in 2024, coming into the season, and someone was commenting below a couple of videos ago, I made the comment where, one thing that we at least expected not to fall off from 2023 was the defense. And he argued the defense in 2023 was garbage. Yeah, there was moments it was for sure garbage. I'm not going to disagree with that, but it was at least consistent. It was the 7th in total defense. I believe it was highest in rush defense. So it was not a bad defense. That was the thing that was going to hold us together. And if you remember early on at the beginning of last year in 2024, the Patriots were in quite a few games, but it was the fact that offensively they could not do a thing. They couldn't do anything. I think you could have taken Uncle Rico, put him in there, and I think, he would have thrown the ball over the mountains over there, quarter mile, but I think he may have done better than Jacoby Brissett at times. But again, that's beside the point. But going to be huge for the Patriots moving forward. Comment below, what do you think about Christian Barmore and him gradually returning to voluntary offseason practice, training, what do you want to call it? Comment below. Would love to hear from you. Again, I think it is huge news and a great sign for the Patriots, especially in this rebuild. Now, Mike Vrabel, if you go to Patriots.com, breaks down kind of the key points to his press conference that he was giving. Also, if you want a really good laugh, I wish I would have looked this up. Every year, I get a great laugh when you look at all the NFL coaches together and they take a picture, and Andy Reid's always in his Hawaiian shirt, and it is hilarious. It is so funny. Go take a look. It's great. But besides the point, he was asked essentially about the current state of the left tackle position. He talked about it a bunch of different things, but he said, hey, they continue to evaluate our roster. Remember, they have Caden Wallace, who came from Penn State, as well as Verdarian Lowe is going to be coming back as well. Now, you guys know, and I know, it is very likely that neither of them will be the starters at that position. Now, Caden Wallace had some injury concern. It's possible that he can come in and develop more. That's a huge possibility. Verdarian Lowe, I don't think that's a possibility. Again, I think it's going to be someone else starting at one of those positions, and these guys are going to be second string. But as well, he talks about this. Just after that, he says, the draft is going to be a good option for us. There's a lot of guys in the draft that we like in a lot of different levels. I'm confident in right there. That's a key thing. At a lot of different levels. So again, I think they're evaluating, seeing, hey, this guy might be third round talent, but we think he can come in and contribute. I'm confident between now and the time the season starts that we're going to have something that we believe in and plan on that's going to help us. Huge. Next, he was asked about top offensive tackle prospects, Will Campbell and Armand, there we go, Membu. Apparently I'm saying Membu wrong. Membo. I need to go look it up. I will. I promise. He said they're great young talent, and this is probably one of the most telling comments I think he's made this whole time, this whole press conference. He says this: they're great young talented players that have great film. Will has a lot of snaps at left tackle. Membu has played a lot of right here. But there's a lot of guys who have played right and left and switched. That right there is important. The reason being is, again, we know Morgan Moses is older. Yeah, he got I think it's a 3-year contract. But again, he's older. He's gonna be needed to be replaced. Yeah, he's been consistent when it comes to playing, but gonna be replaced. Let me throw you this. Josh Simmons, who was supposed to be, if not hurt, probably would be a top 5 pick in this year's draft. It's very possible. Listen, the Giants need linemen. It's possible that they would have been like, listen, we're going to take this guy. Past 2 years, played a ton of left tackle. But back in 2022, played almost 800 snaps at right tackle. I'm just throwing that out there. Again, yes, there's concerns with his knees. Not going to disagree with that. But when it comes down to it, would be a major asset. And it's one of those things where the Patriots could drop back even as far back as the teens and probably still be able to get him. I'm not trying to read between the lines, but I'm just saying, listen, the Patriots see there's other guys in this draft besides these two, even though these two are great. They look great on paper, and there's a possibility they take one of these two. We can't forget there's other guys that have good experience and are also very versatile where they can play both positions. That's all I want to say. I think that's a very telling thing. I also love that he said this, because I've said this before, because he talks about the arm length when it comes to Will Campbell, and he says, I don't understand how you can watch him play in the SEC, which is the best college conference in college football, against guys that are going to get drafted at that position. I don't think you have to project it. You can just actually watch and say, there's his snaps at left tackle, evaluate and see what you think. Again, I have been saying that. Everyone's getting all freaked out about his arm length. Listen, he played in the SEC. He's going to be able to handle it. He's a big boy. He is a big boy. Next up, he talked about Travis Hunter. I thought this was interesting, how he basically said, listen, we'd be open to playing everybody that we had at more than one position. Anything that would help the football team. Again, case in point, you look at someone like Marcus Jones. He's done a lot of different things. He played a little offense last year. He played, nickel at defense slot, and then he returned. And so it's a possibility. If you can bring a variety of skills to the table, why not use them? Again, I think it's going to be interesting with Travis Hunter just because I think he would like to play a lot more snaps on each side of the ball, and it just has not been seen before. And so, again, if they think it's a possibility and they can draft him, they are for sure going to take him if they have that chance. Now, when asked about drafting the best player available, he said this, and I think this is really well said. He said, hopefully those two things align. Again, meaning need and skill. Again, so if someone falls into their lap at number 4 or anywhere in the draft where it's, hey, well, this is convenient. We need an offensive tackle, and based on our chart, they're the best one there, so we're going to go with it. Yes, that's a possibility. That does not mean that Shedeur Sanders is going to drop to them at 4 and they're going to take it. That would be idiotic and stupid. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is, hey, if we see someone that drops to us, defensive tackle, like let's say in the second round, third round, that we have a high value on, we're gonna pull the trigger on it. But if it lines up where it's, hey, it's a wide receiver, and they're on our list, based on our list, hey, this is a good spot to take them, we're going to do it because we see the need, but also, too, we evaluated them based on how we did that. There's a high grade, and it's worth the pick. So, again, they want to be, at the end of the day, how he said it, we want to add premium players at the top of the draft and throughout the draft. That's our goal. Smart goal, easy put, nothing complex about it. Boom, go do it. Show us that the Patriots can freaking draft, for goodness sakes. Barmore, we talked about his blood clots. Last but not least, on the joint practice, he talked about possibly going with the Vikings and Commanders, which I love because, again, I've talked about this before. The Commies, sorry, I shouldn't have called them the Commanders. The Commies, their real name. The Commies are a team that the Patriots could really mirror this year. And I've talked about that earlier, where they come in, young quarterback, got some more talent around them, and could make a push for the playoffs like the Commies did. They made it all the way to the NFC Championship game. So when you look at it, that's a good, hey, let's go up against them. Let's play against them. And I love the fact that defensively, you're going up against a good offense, as well as the Vikings. You're going up against elite receivers. You're going at, granted, J.J. McCarthy is going to be a new quarterback in the mix, but you're going against young talent, great talent all around. I think it'd be great. I'd rather go up against teams like that than garbage teams like the Browns or the Giants or something like that. So comment below. Tell me what you guys think about anything Mike Vrabel said. What do you think about Christian Barmore? Comment below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, my name's Aaron. Hit the subscribe button on your way out. We'll talk later. Peace.